We're talking about drop shot tackle today, so we're going to talk about the rod and reel combo, the line, the types of hooks and weights to use, and the type of baits to throw on a drop shot setup. Let me start by saying if you're new to drop shot, what you need to do is go look up Aaron Martens and watch every video that he has. That guy is the master, and he will tell you everything you need to know about fishing the drop shot. This video is just about the tackle, and Aaron Martens, he uses a lot of Megabass stuff. It's great equipment, but it's very expensive, so I'm going to show you a few alternatives to that. So let's start with the baits. I throw a lot of robo worms, and these are probably the favorite drop shot bait. You know, there's lots of things you could throw in a drop shot, but generally, you know, a little straight tail worm is kind of what most people throw. You can throw anything. I like the robo worm just because they're very soft, and the way that you hook this on here, I hook it the same way Aaron Martens does. I get my set the camera down here. I use the same technique as Aaron Martens does, which is basically it's a type of nose hook. Generally, when you nose hook the bait, you've got your worm, and you have that hook. You kind of hook it through just the very front part, and the worm ends up sitting on there kind of like that if that hook is inside of it. I do it the way Aaron Martens does, which is you hook up into the worm, and you have the front point of it just ever so slightly just pointing out just like that, so that worm can move with that hook up and down a little bit better. It works great with the robo worm because these are so soft that the hook, it's not going to have any problem at all penetrating out. If you're using a thicker type of plastic, like I've used the Bento Minnow by Lunker Hunt, their plastic's a little bit thicker. I prefer to just do a standard nose hook where it's coming out kind of like that, and I guess this worm would actually be laying like that. But yeah, generally I use the Aaron Martens way of rigging, and you see I've got a lot of different colors. I need to restock a little bit on here. I use both the 4.5 and the 6-inch robo worms. They're pretty cheap, and they work great for this technique. And you've already kind of seen the little rig. I'm using a 1/0 VMC spin shot hook, and I like that just because it's really easy to tie your leader and your main line on here. And I'm also using a VMC tungsten 3/16 ounce weight. This is my little drop shot box, and I keep it pretty simple. I use a lot of 3/16. That's just my favorite weight to use. You know, I've got a couple other ones that I can, you know, rig up when I need, and I use a lot of 1/0 hooks. That's just kind of my go-to setup. As far as line goes, generally fluorocarbon is what most people use. As you can tell, I've got braided line on here. This is 10-pound Power Pro, and that's just because the lake that I fish the most, the water is not super clear. It's actually not that clear at all, so I can get away with using braid, and I can feel the bottom a little bit better using the braid. I do have another reel that has fluorocarbon on it. It's one size bigger than this reel, which helps eliminate line twist. That's another reason I don't have fluorocarbon on this one, so that when I am in a clear body of water, I can use that fluorocarbon. But 10-pound braid works pretty good for me. The rod that you'll want to look at is just kind of like a medium light, generally between 6'6" and 7'2" is kind of about average. This one is a 6'10". This is a 13 Fishing Omen Black series, or sorry, Envy Black series. My bad. Yeah, the Envy is an awesome series of rods. The Omen is good too. The Envy's one step up. Really nice handle. I like the feeling of the cork and everything on there. Just a nice rod. And then the reel is this is just a Pflueger Supreme XT. I've had this little reel for a really long time. It's just a nice little spinning reel. You don't need anything real fancy. You know, just spinning gear, just kind of, you know, medium light action on the rod, and just some white line. You know, like I said, it can be braid, it can be fluorocarbon. Just match it to your own wake, and then just some type of, you know, some type of robo worm or a straight tail worm. They're cheap. You can find them anywhere. And then just get on YouTube, look up Aaron Martens, and just do what he does. That's kind of what I did. I just got into drop shotting last year, and I picked it up pretty quick. The first time I tried it, I went out and actually caught a fish, and ever since then, it's been a go-to technique of mine. It's really great when other things aren't working. You can pull out the drop shot and put a couple fish in the boat. So, hope this video helped out. Any questions, just drop me a comment. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. Take it easy.